Hi, welcome to College of DuPage's first fully virtual auditions for our first fully virtual productions for summer 2020 in the College Theater Department. I'm Connie Canaday Howard. I'm chair and professor in the theater department.
And I'm Amelia Barrett, and I'm professor in the theater department.
And the two productions that we are doing this summer are Chicken Little and How to Survive the Quarantine as an Artist and Actor. And these two shows will be created fully from improvisation. Improvisation is not new to our department. We've been doing improvisation since the theater was established. We've been doing at least one improv production a year for over 3 decades. But this is the first summer that we will be doing them online, and that is due to the college being online this summer because of the healthcare crisis. So we're super excited about these shows. I need to tell you a few things as chair of the department, and then we'll talk about the productions. The first thing I need to say is that the shows are actually classes. So they're theater 2211 sections, which is repertory acting. So the audition form that you're going to download has a place where you sign that you know that you will be registering for class if you are cast in the production. The second thing is we need you to sign that form. We can't cast you without you signing that form, so you'll sign the form and then take a picture of it with your camera and upload it with your audition, or you can download a scanning app and scan it that way. The third thing I think probably goes without saying, but because it is a college theater production and it's for college credit, you need to stay in good standing in all of the classes that you are carrying in summer 2020 while you're doing the show. Amelia is now going to talk about Chicken Little.
So if you Google search Chicken Little, there's a mazillion descriptions of it, and we're going to come up with our own. But ultimately, we're trying to send a positive message for families when we watch this. A great many of the Chicken Little stories talk about, the sky is falling, and then it's a sort of story about telephone and how things get out of control. Ironic that we're doing it right now, but that said, I think that the cast should come together and on their own, Chicken Little, Turkey Lurkey, Ducky Lucky, and whomever else we decide who's in the show, solves the problem on their own and gives a positive message, to the viewers that are watching our show. And we're going to be streaming it to libraries and anybody else that wants to watch it. So we want to have a really good, positive, moving forward idea. And you couldn't come up with a better time to do that in. So we're going to come up with that story on our own, rehearse it online, and then ultimately record it and edit it together and show it to the public.
And the same thing is happening with How to Survive the Quarantine. The content is a little bit different. So the example I gave in the audition announcement is that we'll create several scenes. One might be about, one thing I do during quarantine is I bake. And it could be a humorous sketch where everything goes wrong as you're baking. So the flour explodes, the sugar goes on the floor and creates a slippery ice skating mess, that kind of thing. Or it could be a more sincere approach that you're missing your grandmother. And so you decide and your grandmother decide that in each of your houses, you're gonna make the family's recipe for chocolate chip cookies. And so together you make those cookies and then you do a coffee break where you share them on Zoom with each other. Make sense? So I foresee that most of the sketches will probably be comedic, but that's really up to the cast once the cast is created. And as Amelia said, it'll be rehearsed online. We'll finally record it and edit it together. It will become, there will be a dynamic that's created to create the theme, whatever that theme ends up being once we are cast and in rehearsal. So these shows actually this summer are following the 8-week rehearsal period. So we go into rehearsal on the 1st of June. We finish the class by July 26th. And Chicken Little's going to rehearse on Monday, Wednesdays from 3 to 5:50. And How to Survive the Quarantine is going to rehearse on Tuesday, Thursdays from 3 to 5:50. The deadline for audition submittal is May 11th. So you're going to download your audition form and fill it out completely. And then you're going to scan it and post it along with an audition monologue that you create from improv. So for Chicken Little, it'll be based on the Chicken Little story in some way. And for How to Survive the Quarantine, it's either based on yourself or you can create a character, right? And something that you do during quarantine. And the email that you're going to send in, subject line will be your name dash Chicken Little or your name dash How to Survive or Quarantine, however you want to do that. And then with those two attachments. Make sense? Your audition form and your monologue. We advise you to audition for both shows, but that's up to you. If you really are only available on Monday and Wednesdays, then you want to audition for Chicken Little, or vice versa. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, you want to audition for Quarantine. But if you audition for both, you maximize your ability to be cast. Make sense? It is possible to be in both productions this summer, but that would mean carrying 2 classes, right? So it would be 2 3-credit-hour classes. That's up to you. There's a place on your form if you want to be considered if you want to be in both shows. If you audition and you really only want to be in one, then we'll take that into consideration. Okay? Cast list will be posted on May 15th on the same site that you're downloading this and your audition form from. And I think that's everything I have to say, except that I really hope that you audition, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Do you want to maybe say that email address?
Yes, you're going to submit to, it's actually on the audition form too, but you're going to submit these to CT, capital Cat, capital Tom, auditions in small letters, AUDITIONS @cod.edu. It is on the audition form as well.
Excellent. Can't wait to meet you all.